Yeah, good morning and good evening. Let's begin. So, the topic is a very interesting topic today. It's about Viññana consciousness. So, if we have gone through Paticca Samutpada 1, or if we have gone through the Sanatana Vagga or the six senses, there are a lot of in the Anguttara Nikaya also is there in Sanyukta Nikaya. You would be fascinated to see there is one term which Buddha uses for Viññana. He says Namarupa Samudayo Viññana Samudayo. Namarupa Nirodho Viññana Nirodho. And we might just memorize it and leave it just like Ahara Samudaya, Rupa Samudayo, Ahara Nirodho, Rupa Nirodho. Then Vedana, sorry, Phassa Samudaya, Vedana Samudayo, Phassa Nirodha, Vedana Nirodho. Then we can have the Phassa Samudaya, Sanya Samudayo, Phassa Nirodha, Sanya Nirodho, then Phassa Samudaya, Sankhara Samudayo, Phassa Nirodha, Sankhara Nirodho, and the last one, Namarupa Samudaya, Viññana Samudayo, Namanupa Nirodha, Viññana Nirodho. This is how these five aggregates are explained. Now we might just read it and we think we have understood it. But most importantly, we need to get through 22.95, that is in Sanyukta Nikaya, Phena Pindupama Sutta, and in that the last one, Maya Upamancha Viññanam Desita Ditta Bandhuna. So now this Kingsman of the Sun teaches how to understand this Viññana, which is a magician, right? So now the question comes, how do I identify an object? So Viññana is all about identification. It's not only identification, it is memorization. So in the chitta is the memory of everything that has happened. It takes the snapshot all the time and then it does what it should do, is to give you an experience. It gives itself an experience. The you is just a way of talking, but actually it gives itself an experience. Now, what it will experience? It will experience the eye, it will experience the ear, it will experience the nose, it will experience the tongue, it will experience the body, and it will experience the mind. This is what it experiences. Now, the question comes, how do I understand this Viññana? It's like you put something in your tongue, in the tongue, not your tongue, something in the tongue. Instantly it can recognize it is salt, it is sour, it is sweet, it is astringent, like that. So in the Kajaniya Sutta, there is a mention about Viññana. That what is Viññana? Viññana is the one which identifies, which cognizes. Cognition means to identify, to know what it is. So it already knows. Also in the Majjhima Nikaya, if we go to the Mahavedana Sutta, MN 43, there you would find again Sariputta being asked by the other Venerable, saying that, Venerable Sariputta, can you explain what is Viññana? He says, Vijanati, Vijanati, and hence it is Viññana. It knows. So he asks, what does it know? Sukham tapi vijanati, dukkham tipi vijanati, adukha sukham tapi vijanati. So it knows the sukha, it knows the dukkha, it knows neutral. Now we might ask a question. It knows means what knows? It is like this. If you push food, it knows that you cannot push food inside the eye, nor you can push the food inside the nose, nor you can push the food inside the ear. Nowhere you can push it except in the mouth. So any being, if you give something, it directly takes it to the mouth. If it is edible, If it is not, it throws out. Okay. Eyes cannot eat. You try 100 times, it cannot eat. Ears cannot eat. Nose cannot eat. Only tongue can taste. So it already knows. It's aware of what it is. So this knowing thing is what is Viññana. And to know it, it requires Nama Rupa. So Nama Rupa Samudayo, Viññana Samudayo. That means with the arising of Nama Rupa, the cognition happens. Without Nama Rupa, there is no cognition. Meaning, when there is a cognition, the sukha and the dukkha and the neutral, all the three come together because of the cognition. It's cognized and hence experience. Now, if I want a neutral experience, I should not go behind the sukha nor go behind the dukkha because that will be experienced. So, when I see an object like this, if I reflect upon this as vilas, instantly vilas is experienced. Why? Because the nama and rupa is already there. Now it's not naming, it's not about saying that, oh, vilas is a name on this object. No, it involves 5 things. First, there should be a contact, phassa. So you will have vedana, sanya, sankhara. All the 3 are already there. So first is the contact. Now when I am contacting this camera or this setting or this thing, what is there, instantly there is a recognition. At the very instant, it doesn't take time because it knows. Whatever it knows, it delivers. Now, I'm seeing this. What I'm seeing, what? The contact. With the contact, phassa, pachaya vedana, the feeling starts. Now the question comes, okay, Viññana is one thing and feeling is another thing. Again, in the Mahavedala Sutta, there is a clarification. Viññana is not one thing and the feeling is another thing, to split it up like that. You cannot do it like that. Because of the Viññana, there is feeling. It's not that other way around. That's a reason why it is a magician. It's so closely knit, it's really impossible to divide and say, hey, you know what, this is Viññana and this is Vedana. Got it? Now, what is the feeling? Feeling is, as we discussed, is this room along with me sitting here. That's a feeling. Nobody can take away the feeling from me. So when there is a feeling, there is a perception. Okay? Perception. What perception? Perception of this body is vilas. This is the chair. This is the camera. And this is the background. All that is being perceived. Okay, great. Then there is chetana, intention. Now that is what sankhara is all about. Okay. Now with that intention, mano sanchetana, chakku sanchetana, ghana sanchetana. You see that chetana? That is what it is there in the nama. So when we say nama, it is phassa, vedana, sanya, chetana. 4 are there. With phassa, when there is a contact, mind comes to be. What is mind? It's vedana, sanya, sankhara. Right? Now, All three requires phassa. So if I understand contact, either through vipassana of Goenka, or through or through Paok tradition, or through Sri Lankan tradition, or through Thai tradition, or through Mahayana, or through this yana, that yana, whatever we can have, as many concepts we can create out of Buddha teaching. If we are able to get that contact, that's it. Without contact, nothing is going to work. You can't, because it requires contact. Yes, Sachin.
So when you say contact, it is contact between what? It is contact between Viññana, Rupa, subject, object.
Anything. So chakuncha paticcha rupecha upajjati chakku viññana. Contact with the eye and the object, the subject object. Subject is the eye, object is the sight. Tinna sangati phasso. These three are contact. If somebody were to ask, what is a contact? Subject object experience is the contact. So if I am experiencing vilas, I am experiencing vilas. Am I not good looking? Or am I not bad looking? Am I not intelligent? Am I not non-intelligent? Am I not rich? Am I not poor? All these are experienced Vedana. You feel that. There's a feeling. Instantaneously, the consciousness gives you that feeling that something is there. So now I am Vilas. If I am Vilas, then I need to protect. Why? Otherwise, there's no experience. So subject, object creates experience. The experience is Viññana. So it does two things. It gives you a mirror-like reflection. It itself is the experiencer. It itself is the experiencer. Both are itself. But it gives you it gives itself a drama, a magic that I'm experiencing here, but I'm not experiencing there. Meaning, I'm experiencing his vilas, but not as Sachin, not as Matthew, not as Anna, not as Shreyas, not as Ariyu, not as Alankar, not as anybody. So I feel this is my experience. And each one feels accordingly because it's a mirror reflection. And that's how Nama Rupa will work now. Why? There is a Manasikara. Manasikara is, Manasi is, that is Chitta, Mano, Manasan, the third one, which recognizes the object. It takes the object as something. And Kara is to do. So it does something after taking it. It can do two things. It can do a thoughtful reflection of what the object is. Now, in this case, this is a camera. It's made out of Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayo, and Akasa. There is no Viññana here in the camera. If I know that much, there is nothing to be attached to it. That is Yonisa Manasikara. But if I see it as an iPhone camera, iPhone 13 Pro camera, that experience is different. I don't want this guy to fall down now. And if it doesn't work, I will curse. I paid so many dollars for this damn thing. It's not working. It's Ayonisa Manasikara. So, Phassa Vedana Sanya Chetana happened same way for both Yoniso and Ayoniso. But since I am having Ayoniso Manasikara, the experience is iPhone. Even though it's only a name, a formal name given to an object. So the subject remaining the same, the object is defined in a different way. And the consciousness gives you that opportunity to enjoy or suffer this camera. Yes, Saryu.
I guess in a way, if the mind is moving, then the reflection gets distorted. But if the
Always.
mind is still, there's no distortion.
Yes. Why it moves? Because it moves past, it moves on the future, it moves in the present. So it creates three time durations. I was in the past, I am going to be in the future, and I am like this in the present. So the consciousness now gives you the past experience. It picks up all the piles you have as memory, gives life to it. So it animates things up. Hey, what were you doing yesterday? Yesterday, I woke up. Okay. Then what did you do? You know what? I came out of my uh, porch and I was walking, take a stroll. While he's talking, the mind is enjoying the walk. Even though it is departed, it's dead, but it's filled with life. You can reflect upon at any time and you can get it back. It's again Ioniso Manasikara. It's dead. There's no experience like that right now. But it can go back. How you'll be doing in the future? Oh, in 5 years from today, I will be doing this. In 10 years from today, I'll be doing that. And I'll be doing this and that and all that. And what are you doing now? Now you know what I'm doing. I'm doing ABCDE, like that. So these definitions are Nama. Creating that is a Rupa. So even though this is 5 elements, I don't see 5 elements. I see it as iPhone. For that Nama, there is a Rupa. I see this as Vilas. I don't see this as 5 elements. I see Vilas. Vilas is born. Vilas shouldn't die. Body dies, but Vilas will not die. Okay. So we make a person eternal. You have to remember that person. So they say you will do something where people remember you. So that the person is eternal. Whereas that person is also not eternal. That consciousness is also not eternal. It comes due to a condition and it goes off when the condition is no longer there. So yesterday I was talking to Sachin. So we are going on the Patisamutpada cycle. But unfortunately, the recording has not come out good. Even though I took my MacBook Air, I think yesterday it decided that the voice shouldn't be there of others who speak. Only my voice should be heard. So, for whatever reason. So now, if I were to reflect upon what I and Sachin were talking about, it's like this. If Nama and Rupa is going to be there, that is, if Avidya were to be there, then the Sankharas are going to be there. Sankharas are the intentional actions we do. Any intentional can be Punyabhi Sankhara, Apunyabhi Sankhara, Aninjabi Sankhara. Aninjabi Sankhara is intentionally getting into the jhanas. I intend to be in jhana. Okay, I'll create necessary condition, preparedness, to prepare. So the first thing I'm going to do is to intend. Now I'm intending to talk on Dhamma. It's a Punyabhi Sankhara. It's an Abhisankhara by itself. Okay, now what happens? Am I not a speaker? That's Viññana. Am I not experiencing I'm a speaker? Am I not experiencing as a Dhamma person? Truly, yes. Nobody can take that out of me saying that, no, no, no. Okay, now to give me a title, you should say I'm a vlogger, I'm a YouTube logger, I'm a blogger, you have to do something about it. You just can't take it without naming it. You will name. What will you name? Because you feel. Why you feel? Because you had a contact. I don't want a contact. That's not possible, sir. You will have a contact. Now you have two choices to make. Either get into the contact or observe the contact as a witness. If you are witnessing it, you are an arhat. If you are getting involved with it, you are an arhat person. Why? Because I never understood that contact creates feeling. Feeling creates perception. Perceptions create sankhar, intention. And all these adding together is experience. Subject object experience is what we are having. And when you have a subject like this eye, ears, nose, tongue, and body, that's a subject, you require a faculty, you require a sphere, you require a field to experience. That's ayatana. When there is a field, you are going to experience in that field. And that's what consciousness job is all about. Nama Rupa Samudayo, Viññana Samudayo. Now it is arisen. If it is arisen, it's going to give you the experience of whatever you want to experience at that point in time. If Aryu wants to feel, I am Aryu, nobody can take it out of him. He will feel, I am Aryu. No matter somebody comes and says, hey, wait. When you were born, where you are you? Oh, my father and mother gave me that name. Boss, where you are you? I don't know. I am Aryu. Okay, that's good. But he can reflect upon that. Am I Aryu? I don't think so. This was named. That is not real. After a few minutes, somebody calls Aryu. And he turns. He doesn't say, I don't know, I don't care who it is. And did he turn thoughtfully or did he turn non-thoughtful? 99% of the time we turn out thoughtful. Why? Because I'm experiencing that person. You tell me, you can't take it out of me. No matter how much I struggle, how much Dhamma I know or don't know, it doesn't matter. You can't take out the experience out of me. Now, Vipassi, previous Buddha, came till here and he felt this is too much. He started with the four basic questions, like the Buddha, like the Gautama Buddha. If we take that route, you can break the Nama Rupa completely. So, Namancha Rupancha Asesam Uparujjati Viññanassa Nirodhena Ethesam Uparujjati. Now we'll come to that. Now, in this, what should happen is that I should look at this body, observe the whole day Rupa. How is the Rupa coming? What's the origin of every Rupa? Tree, plant, like that, to all the animals, birds, insects, including those microorganisms which are there in the body. What's the deal? Including the cells. What's the deal? The deal is the food. That's all. If you can penetrate, Rupa will break out into 8 parts. Once Yoniso Manasikara happens, Ayoniso Manasikara drops off. Like a 7-year-old was asked by the Buddha, what is one? His answer was beautiful. Sabbe satta aharatika. Whatever you call as essence, Satta is sattva in Sanskrit, satta in Pali, means something which seems essence. Now this body looks with some essence. It has nutrition as an essence. So I'll give you a simple example. From December, I've been eating only one meal a day. So people are asking me, why are you growing lean? What should I answer? I am not growing lean. I am not growing fat. The body is growing lean and the body is growing fat. If I get good food, more food, it becomes fat. If food is reduced, it becomes lean. Neither the person is fat nor the person is lean. And all beings require food for sustenance. That's it. Right? Now he asks, what is two? Amancha rupancha. Three is sovedana. Four noble truths. Like that he explains. Now let's understand this context. Ahara samudayo, rupa samudayo. That's all. I don't have to go to the nirodha portion of it. For my meditation object, I sit like this. I don't have to close the eyes. Just watch how this table here and the other things have got formed, like the door or anything here which is made out of wood is formed out of a tree. And tree has what? Nutrients. Now what does mud include? Nutrients. And what is gold? Nutrient. What is silver? Nutrient. Like that, everything is a nutrient. And if somebody were to cut across this body, or somebody is in the hospital, what do they say? Person phosphorus level is low, calcium is more, sodium is this much. What are they doing? They are giving a periodic table. Now, where's the person? You know what happened? His kidneys had more urea. What is urea? Salt. What salt? Did he eat salt? No. Salt is formed. What does urine have? Salt. If somebody were to do a yoniso manasikara, he will find out that there is nothing called as a rupa other than patavi, apo, tejo, vayu, varna, rasa, gandha, oja. It will fall down into 8 parts. Shuddhastakam, pure octet form. So once I have a pure octet form, now the feeling will change. It will change from vilas to just a form, like hena pindupama, a lump of foam. Now, if that happens, what happens to Viññana? Viññana will give me the experience of patavi, apo, tejo, vayu, varna, rasa, gandha, oja. It becomes yoniso manasikara. So, phassa, vedana, sanya, chetana, yoniso manasikara. Not ayoniso manasikara, yoniso manasikara. That will lead to liberation. Why? Because there is no person. So I can use the Viññana to open up the experience in a different way. But Viññana job is to give 2 dimension and create a 3 dimension or multi-dimension. 1 dimension is it itself is experience. 2nd dimension is it itself is experiencer. 3rd dimension is fully experienced. It knows all. There's nothing more to be known in Viññana. It knows. So basically, if somebody is saying, I am feeling happy, it knows. If somebody basically say, I'm feeling unhappy, it knows. Yes, Sachin.
So when we say Mansikaro is Yoniso, the uh, Nam Rupa has a Mansikaro which is Yoniso. Then the Sarayatana and Phassa are simplified or not at all?
They are simplified because Nama Rupa becomes simplified because Nama Rupa includes these three things, right?
Yeah.
Vedana, Tanya, Chetana. Three.
And because of Mansikaro is Yoniso, the load of building up the villas is
Is not there.
reduced and mind is freed from it.
Yes, mind doesn't latch on to it. That I am Vilas, I am experiencing Vilas.
And the Mansikaro can be made Yoniso by previous Chetna, right?
Yes.
That my Mansikaro should be Yoniso. I have to keep brainstorming myself or tell myself, feed myself. So next time my Mansikaro is Yoniso.
Exactly.
And I should keep doing, keep reboosting it.
Yes. To what? You have to do the Rupa. So there are four, if you take Paramatha, ultimate truth, the four: Rupa, Chitta, Chetasika, Nibbana. That's all. So by understanding the Rupa in its complete essence, you let go of ayoniso manasikara. And when you let go of ayoniso manasikara, the mind doesn't latch onto it. That is, when you say mind, you don't feel vilas, you don't perceive vilas, and you don't intend as vilas. Yeah. Now when I don't have...
And today morning when I was doing walking medicine, I did it and it worked very well. So I unloaded myself. The whole environment with, as you know, that I could do a Mansikaro method to enter into space. So when I unload everything, I am not focusing on what I am observing. Main part is I am observing something as normal. I am not investigating too much into it. As a normal person walks, as a normal person looks, I was doing everything as normal. Even while reading newspaper, I did that. So I have unloaded everything else from this three-dimensional space, which I call Sarayatana, and only this is left over. And so it was so much relaxed. Even while reading newspaper, I was so much relaxed because all the load of three-dimensional knowing, the background knowing that the whole day's history is not at all there.
Very nice.
That way also, Yoniso Mansikara can be established instead of too much analyzing the object.
Yes, you don't have to. Now, as you were speaking, I was looking at this camera. So now you see this, if I consider this mustache and this hair like a grass grown on the land, right? This is the land on which this is grown. I didn't grow it.
No, that is silent object. But I'm talking about complex object, like you are talking to me. Right?
Yes.
Or you are reading newspaper. That you are involved too much.
Yes.
At that time also, can you be in a state which is more relaxed?
Yes, that is slightly difficult. Since you have established it, it's very good. But for others, they have to look at this body. It's a stationary object, basically. Now you watch closely, just like a grass is growing and it fades away. It first will be lush green, then it becomes yellow, and it becomes dried up, and it vanishes. This is grass. The earlier was lush black. It's not green for whatever reason. I don't have to go and say, oh, grass is green, but this grass is black. It is grass. So now if I see it, some portions are becoming gray. In that case, it would have become yellow, but this is becoming gray. If I do an assessment, yoniso, I can make this whole body from the top of the head to the tip of the toe like a ground on which various things are growing, depending upon what is there in the seed. These hairs are growing. I didn't grow a single hair, as far as I remember, on this land, on this ground. If I watch it, what will I get? I first decipher Pathavidhatu to the depth of it. Then I can get into Apo, Tejo, Vayu. Now, what does consciousness do? It cognizes Pathavidhatu. Earlier it was cognizing as Vilas. Now it is cognizing as Pathavidhatu. Now, in the Chitta is a light. The screen had Vilas. Now, Vilas is removed. What happens? It becomes pure. Because it was reflecting Vilas, the experience is Vilas. Now it is reflecting Pathavidhatu. You are experiencing Pathavidhatu. What Buddha says is that you have to go beyond, slightly beyond that. What is slightly beyond that? Na ghadati. Shouldn't allow it to get established. Yatta patavi cha apo cha tejo cha vayo na ghadati. Gets no footing. There's one sutta where Buddha asks, dear bhikkhus, Bhante, tell me, what if the sun were to fall on a western wall? Sun were to come from east and fall on the western wall. Can the sun can be seen? Light can be seen? Yes, Bhante. What if there was no western wall? Where will it get established? On the ground. Very good. What if there is only a wall on the east side and not in the west? So the sun will take to go into the west, and will that image be formed on the eastern wall? Yes, Bhante. What if the east wall itself were not there? Will it get established? No, Bhante. Like that he does with other two, southern and northern. He says, in the same way, if you give a ground for the consciousness to take shape, it becomes Viññana bija, kamma khetta, then craving sineho, tanha sineho. What it means is that if there is an interest, which one? What is interest?
Chanda.
Chanda. If there is chanda, chanda mulaka avuso sabbe dhamma. If there is a kinchi, little bit, interest as a bija, seed, Viññana will get established. Viññana get established, Nama Rupa will get established. If Nama Rupa gets established, Salayatana gets established. If Salayatana gets established, Phassa gets established. Phassa gets established, Vedana will get established, and hence Dukkha. Because you start to feel. And when you happens, feeling also happens. When you remove you, there is no feeling. And hence there is no craving. The craving is for you. When there is no you feeling, from where will you have a craving? If you don't have craving, then there is nothing to become. If there is no becoming, then there is nothing to be born. If there is nothing to be born, there is nothing that can age. If nothing can be aged, then nothing can happen as dukkha. So, in the Titayatana Sutta, Anguttara Nikaya 3.61, what he says is that Ukkantiya sati namarupam, namarupa pachaya salayatana, salayatana pachaya phassa, phassa pachaya vedana. And he says this is the dukkha. Dukkha satya is whatever you feel. Whatever it can be feeling is a dukkha. If I feel vilas, it's a dukkha. If I feel vilas as this body is a dukkha. Because I have to manage now. And it cannot be managed. Because it is not as per my liking. It's aniccā in nature. It's dukkha. And it's anatta. I can't own it. This thing which is growing here cannot be owned. If I start owning it, what I should do? I should go to a barber shop and say that, hey, why don't you put some dye on this? Just to feel myself that I have not got aged. And if somebody asks me, hey, Vilas, there are no white hairs in you are more than 50 is what you say. Yeah. But I'm fooling myself. Why? This damn thing will eventually go. If I were to shave it, let's say I don't like to put this dye, hair dye. Okay, now what I can do? I can take a razor, like what Aryu is having, I'll shave it off. But whenever it comes out, it's going to come out with gray. Now what I do? I watch it in such a way that I remove it. So my job is now to maintain that. Dukkha. Now I'll create sankhara, intention. And somebody says, Vilas, there is one white here. I think you missed it. Then I rush to the washroom. Do that. Why? Because I don't want anyone to say that I'm aged. But eventually, no matter how much I try, that age is going to happen. And when it is aging, feeling can be whatever, but Viññana will make sure that you experience aging. You experience because it knows you can't do anything. So, whatever ayoniso manasikara I use to make things will eventually fall down. So, why not I do a thoughtful reflection and remove the nama rupa itself? So, Viññanasya nirodhena yatte samuparujjati. That means once you remove this Viññana, the cognizer of wrong things, that is where the defilements are. Remove it off. And it's arhat. Why? Animitta, appanihita, shunyata. Now, this is what is shunyata. Rid of identity completely. No nama rupa. Yatta namancha rupancha asesam uparujjati. Asesa is without residue. Sesa is residue. Asesa is without residue. Yatta namancha rupancha asesam uparujjati. Viññanasya nirodhena. So the Viññana doesn't arise again. What Viññana? Chakku Viññana, Sota Viññana, Ghana Viññana, Jibha Viññana, Kaya Viññana, Mano Viññana. There can't be any other Viññana other than this. And it arises out of a condition. Subject, object, experiencer. Then it creates a salayatana which will create an opportunity to experience. So all our experiences are stored in salayatana. So when I say I am born again, who is this I am? Is Namarupa. Okay. In the Maha Nidana Sutta, it's a beautiful sutta on Patisamutpada. He explains what is this Namarupa with Jnana. and Viññana with Namarupa. And it goes like in circle. Let's not go that far. 4 conditions. First condition is Gandhabba has to be there. Who is Gandhabba? Gandhabba is an astral body. Why the astral body came into existence? Because it had Namarupa. The astral body came into existence. Now this Gandhabba will take a position. Position, what position? Position as in the Khetta is the field. The karma or the deed should matches. Then who takes the Gandhabba? The Gandhabba is having what? The seed. Does it have the Viññana? Yes. What are those? There are 4 in number. 1, it has ahara. Okay, good. Then it has kamma. Okay, very good. Then there is chitta. These 3 creates a necessary condition for the Gandhabba to enter into the womb. And then Utu. What is Utu? Utu is the environment in which it should establish. Now, how did it get that environment? It got the environment through intention. And why did it intend? Because of Chanda. Right? Chanda Mulaka, then Manasikara Sambhava. That Manasikara had an intention already. And that also had a Sanya. That also had a what? That also had Phassa. So if you remove the Phassa, there is no rebirth.
So in Gandhabba there was no Viññana, only 3 you said, right?
So the 4th one is Utu. Fourth one is Utu.
So no Viññana.
It's there.
Okay. Which one? Chitta.
Chitta.
Okay.
The 9 stages, right? So it just has a light. It has no experiencer because there is no object. So it lands.
Bhavanga Chitta.
Bhavanga Chitta. Okay. The 4th one, Utu, is the most interesting thing of all the 3. Kapalinka Ahara, the Ahara, it will take Sukuma Ahara. Sukuma means subtle. Just take a subtle up. Subtle. The smell is okay. So, in festivals, especially in India, they keep fruits and all kind of dishes in front of God, whatever God they think. So they might keep it in front of a photograph or in a Buddha statue or whatever it is, and they keep it. And they pray. Because I can sit and pray saying that Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhasa, etc., like that. And then when I partake the food, and I have to be donating it, so I'll say that it is all for you and it's for you, bless us and you keep us. That is also done in Christianity, in all religions generally follow this. So now we are so much indebted to you, blah blah blah, all that. Now if you were to taste that food is going to be different, tasting different. If you have observed, it will be not like what you would have prepared. That's for 100%. Okay. Now you might feel the God came and ate. You don't know. The Gandhabba has felt it, gone. Which Gandhabba? Can be a Deva, can be a Manusa, but not below. So you are asking the beings to partake in whatever you are doing. So the festival day, whatever we call today is a Buddha Purnima. It's a very auspicious, especially for Buddhists. So today, if we were to have some fruit, some whatever, some food we prepare and we offer to the Buddha, and do all kind of chanting, gatha, and if you eat the food, it would taste extraordinarily different. Now you can add another dimension to it. If you want it to be tasting like you had never before, do it like uposatta, or in Sanskrit upavasatta. There are 5 things you need to do on uposatta. One is a Brahma uposatta, then Dhamma uposatta, Sangha uposatta, Sila uposatta, Devata uposatta. If we do all these 5 and you have food at 12 p.m., exactly 12, and don't eat anything at all. Now I have not eaten anything in the morning, so it will be 12 o'clock or anywhere after 11, better way to put it. But before 2 p.m., if I were to do it, that food will be extraordinarily different. Meaning, I have established the 8 precepts. Okay. Then I am doing the Brahma uposatta, then Dhamma uposatta, then this Sangha uposatta, then Sila uposatta, then Devata uposatta, 5 uposattas, and I reflect for the whole day. It's how an arahat would be. So for one day, today, I'm an arahat. Meaning I'm mimicking what arahat would be doing. Exactly the same. So what if I were to bring it every day? Arahat. What if I were to bring it every 2 weeks? You're not an arahat, but on that day you are an arahat. So what happens? The Gandhabas who are there, not yet got life, they would be someone who will facilitate in whatever you are trying to do. So you would get someone who could help you in what you are trying to achieve. This is how this whole nature works. So if we could tap onto it, then it's all Nama Rupa only.
So my sila has attracted them.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
So they respect sila only.
They respect Sila only. They don't, nothing else. So above it's only Sila, below is no Sila. So in the Uposatta Sutta, that's what he explains. There is Santi Deva. So there are Devas, and he explains all the Devas and what not. And then he says that this Deva is, his lifespan is 500 years, and this lifespan is 1,000 years, and this lifespan is 2,000 years, and then 4,000 years, and then he ends with 8,000 years. One day, or rather 100 years of human life is one day. If it is going to be 8,000, how many? Yes, so big. So at Abhasara Brahma realm, from where we started, is supposed to be staying for 8,000, that kind of 16,000, sorry, 16,000 such kind of years, assuming the fact that every day is 100 years. So we have come from there. Now we are trying to find out how to go back there into the Abhasara Brahma realm. That is where you can stay permanently if the condition matches as anagami, or you don't have to stay anywhere, because now it doesn't make any sense to wait and expend your karmic energy. Instead, you can cut off right here. So the Viññana is the one which gets established. So if I don't want it to get established, I should not allow it to get established in the sight and the sound and the taste and touch and smell and yes.
Yeah, now coming to MN 62, we were talking about the Rupa, Vedana, Sankhara, and the 11 categorization, time and space. And from that perspective, what are the 11s?
In Viññana.
11 measurement of Viññana.
Yes. So now
or how do I observe Viññana?
Yes.
As a separate entity.
Yes. So now what should happen for me is that taking the Rupa, these 3 dimensions, which is Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara. I need to look at Viññana referring back to the Rupa. There's one sutta in the in the Sanyukta Nikaya where it talks about Viññana catching hold of the Rupa, Viññana catching hold of the Vedana and the Sanya and the Sankhara in itself also. Just like in the Kajjiniya Sutta, he explains Sankhara taking hold of itself. In the same way, there's another sutta where he talks about Viññana holding itself. I think it is 22.56 if I am not wrong. You can just check it out.
So when we say itself, does that mean this previous moment or something like that? Or
No. It becomes an experience and experienced as two things.
okay, split.
Split. It splits. So now what I should do is I should see the magician. This Viññana. Okay. Now what I should do is there a past for this Viññana? Yes. It's a pile of memories. That's it. If it gives life, you will experience the past. If there is no life given to it, there is no past. And
So all experience, all past experience is also a Viññana, right?
yes,
Which is available in this moment now.
yes, it is there. So in the Nama Gutta, or what is called as Akashic records, or whatever you want to put it, it is stored. So you pick up like from cloud drive and experience how it was at that point in time.
So in that case, Viññana is holding on to that
Yes.
memory.
Through the
Past
Rupa. Through the Rupa. So it is first holding on to the Rupa, then it is holding on to the Vedana, then it's holding on to the Sanya, then it's holding on to the Sankharas you have done there, and then it holds on to itself, which is Viññana, because now you are experiencing that also, right?
Through the Rupa means Rupa which is in front of me.
No, the Rupa, if I were to call, I was studying in so and so school, the Rupa of the school is created instantly.
First Rupa, okay, of the memory.
Of that memory. It is a pile. It's just a dead pile of information. It picks up that, right? And it gives an animation. See, when I say I am in this school, am I not seeing the school?
Yeah, first Rupa comes.
Yeah. And then I say I was sitting in so and so place. Am I not bringing that? And the third one, at that time, I was wearing a small short and a small shirt. Can't I get that? Yes. Can't I get how I was looking like a 3 feet or 2.5 feet in size? Yes.
Yeah. So first you get Rupa and then rest all.
Yes.
The
Now what
whole
happens?
experience.
Now what happens? You get Vedana,
Yeah.
right? So either you get Sukha Vedana or you get Dukkha Vedana. That's the reason when somebody wants to reflect and they start crying. Why? Because they are getting exact Dukkha Vedana right now.
Yeah.
Or the Sukha Vedana right now. They'll say, wow, when we were going to school, that chocolate used to be so nice. Actually, in the tongue, that taste has already arrived.
Yeah.
So the Viññana brings that taste out. And then this guy will start to say, nowadays, you see, so much corruption has happened. All this one, that one, they only want to make money and blah, 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 all that. It was so nice, and now you don't have it. But if he reflects, that's just a pile of information, Namarupa. For that had a Vedana, feeling. That has a Sanya, perception. I am perceiving my engage, so-called engage of mine. Then I am doing Sankharas. What Sankharas? Abhisankharas. That means I am going back, reflecting, enjoying, suffering, doing all of that. With intention. I intend to be back there. So now what happens? If it is my last chitta before chuti, this gets picked up. Straight away lands where it is most nearest.
So this life and that life are same.
Yes.
Same.
Yes, they're steamed up.
Same. Even though they are two separate persons, but they refer to same history.
Yes. So
This guy says that guy is my past.
yes. So now if I don't want that, if I want to see all of my past life, cut the Namarupa from Viññana. Viññana becoming pure.
In that sense, we can say that every moment is synced with the next moment.
Yes.
This moment I am dying and next moment I am birthing.
Correct.
With Viññana as a connector.
Yes. And that's the reason there is another sutta where there are 6 bhikkhus who talk to Buddha. They give their own explanation. They say who is a seamstress and who is
Yeah,
that if you,
I refer that only. Yeah.
that's a what? That's a sutta.
Interest.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is 11 thing of Viññana.
Yes. Now this is time. Now let's look at space. How does ajatta? You will experience internal. Yes or no? With the rupa, aren't you experiencing internal?
Yes.
Now, what's the difference between Vedana and the Viññana? Vedana is just the feeling you get, whereas the Viññana is the experience you're getting out of it.
Mhm.
It's subtle, but that's the experience. It's a full-fledged experience. Anything that you experience is Viññana.
Okay, so how profound was your experience? Could be the size.
Yes. Now, if I say, I experiencing jhana, who is experiencing jhana? Viññana is established in that jhana. Right? So the feeling which trickles down from that Viññana is the jhanic bliss feeling. Right? Now, first you have to do the abhisankhara of jhana to get the feeling of the jhana. You have to do abhisankara of the punya to feel the punya. You have to do abhisankara of the papa to experience papa.
And Arhat don't even do that abhisankhara. He just
There is no
moves on.
abhisankara at all.
He just go there, come back, and he without intention.
Yes, no intention. So what happens then? He removes the chanda. So Ananda and another Brahmin, they have a conversation, and then this Brahmin says, I don't understand Buddha's teaching. On one side, he says chanda has to be removed. Another side, he says without chanda, you cannot achieve. I'm confused here. Ask your teacher to be stick on one.
That's what Ari also asked yesterday. No, do we have to practice? Do we need effort or not?
Yes. So the chanda. Now what Ananda says is that I think I understand your problem, but some people will understand if they are given simile. And he says, yeah, give me a simile. Let me see what you have to say. Then he says, look it this way. You came here. Okay. You came through a park. Did you not go into the park? Did you not intend to go there? Did you not have an interest to go into the park? Yes. I had an interest of going to the park. Now, did you not exit out of the park? Yes, I exited out of the park. Did you not have interest to exit out of the park? Yes. Now, did you not walk and come till here of interest? Yes. Aren't you going to go away from here after your interest is gone? After you achieve what you are supposed to do? Yes. In the same way, you should remove interest through interest. So you should have craving for Nibbana also to remove the craving of Nibbana. And he says, sadhu, sadhu. Because he never knew that this is required. He says that is what is required. So my teacher has stayed only on one thing, ending of craving. To end the craving, you should have craving. To end it also. So tanha is required. So in the same way, the effort is required.
Suicide of tanha.
Yeah, suicide of tanha. So the effort is required to remove the effort. It is oxymoron, but yes, that is true. Anyway, so this is what we
Coming to Ajjatam Bahidya, of Viññana. Can you come back?
yeah. So ajjata is internal. Aren't you feeling internally you are this, you are that? That is ajjata. Bahidda, when I see your name, am I not experiencing Sachin Sharma?
Okay, so whatever is related to Rupa, it's because Rupa is connected with Viññana. All that applies to Rupa applies to Viññana that way.
That way, yes. Like that, entire. So what he did, what Buddha did, he condensed everything into a beautiful gatha. Viññanam, anidassanam, anatam, sabbato, pabham, yatta patavicha, apocha, tejocha, vayona gadati, yaccha digancha, rasancha, anunathulam, subha ashubham, yatta namancha, rupancha, asesam, uparjati, viññanasya nirodhena, yattesam uparjati. 5 lines, done. Buddha Dhamma completely over. So in fact, that Brahmin youth will go and ask the Buddha, what is the cause, what is the condition, and what it is. And then he starts asking something, and then he says, this is not you should ask. You should frame a question. You should not ask how the Patavi will not get established, how the Apo will not get established, how the Tejo will not get established. You should ask, when does the form doesn't get a footing? When does the feeling doesn't get a footing? When does the perception doesn't get a footing? When does the sankhara or the preparation get the footing? When does the viññana doesn't get the footing? If you don't give a footing, it gets established. So that's the reason it is called as anidassanam. Nidassana means to illustrate, to write, to show something. Like I'm showing my fingers like this, but it is shown on the screen. But there is no villa sitting there on the screen. In this camera, there is no villa sitting. But when this video is played, everyone will enjoy or suffer villas. Yes or no? That's what Viññana is all about. Like we see a movie. Nobody watches a movie actually. They watch themselves. How? They first go to the movie theater, sit, they take a box of popcorns. So they are watching. Darkness should happen. That is avijja. Then the sankharas will start. Avijja pachaya sankhara. Now I sit. Now what happens? I intend to watch this hero. I intend to watch this villain. And I intend to call somebody as a friend, somebody as a girlfriend, and some action, some this, some that. I've taken the load of the script. It is just a script. There is no I sitting there. But now I'll take side. I want the hero to be there. I might make the villain as a hero. In that action, he's a villain. But I feel he's a hero. So what I do? I become that. So avijja pachay sankhara. Sankhara pachay viññana. Now what viññana am I getting? I'm getting that. Whichever, that hero and that villain and all other costumes what people have put. So let's say I've gone to the James Bond movie.
You are James Bond at that time, right?
Exactly. I am enjoying James Bond.
Attā bhava.
Attā bhava. So when I have attā bhava, everything starts with me only. Now I say that movie was crap or it was best. It was like people who had seen Titanic.
In fact, I have observed that if you don't have attā bhava in movie, you can't see the movie.
Yes,
Even
you will puke.
even in a scene of 5 minutes, some of the character is you.
Yes, you will immediately create. Why that? Why go to the movie? Take a YouTube video.
Yeah.
Why that?
Without that, you can't even watch. I have tried it.
Yes. Why that? Even on Dhamma, if you open somebody's video and you start observing him, in a moment you become him. You will be totally be absorbed by that person. Now you'll start to say, this helped, this didn't help. This portion is okay, that portion is not okay. This I love it, this I hate it. This is not this, that's not like this. Why? Because it's for me. That video is for me. So attā bhava, anyatha bhava, ittha bhava. So it becomes thisness, this one, not otherwise. This one. So avidya pachaya sankhara is the darkness of the screen. You see now how cleverly I've transformed this into a studio from yesterday. I put the lights, I put the Buddha there, I put a fan, I put that light, I put something, background, backdrop, beautiful. I love it. Right? So now,
Earlier you were sitting there, no? Yeah, below that.
yeah, below that. And now I'm sitting above. Right? Because the camera was going down. So when people watch the video, they say that this is not the way. Now you see, I made a nice transformation. Next time around, I'll put some nice scenes in the background with Buddha thing coming up and some fun stuff, and it looks wow. And then I need to wear an yellow robe. This robe is not good. So next time around, I'll put an yellow robe, nice thing, and I'll sit like this, and I'll start watching. No animation, not much animations. Animation should be there, but a decent animations. Then what happens? All of a sudden, I become a bhante, and every person will really experience a bhante. At present, I'm anagarika. Who says so? I say so. Now, don't you take that I'm anagarika? So if somebody asks me, are you anagarika Vilas Kadival? I say yes. Oh, what should I call you? Anagarika or Vilas Kadival? Call me whatever. No, no, tell me which one. I love anagarika. Why? This is special. Vilas is not special. Anagarika title is good. Vilas is bad. It's Nama and Rupa. Now everybody calls me anagarika. What happens inside? Ah, what a feeling.
33801008.
What's that?
In India, we have Sri Sri 1008.
Ah, right, something like
Param
that.
Pujya.
Right. So now, if somebody calls me Vilas, I don't like it. Why? That Viññana has picked up anagarika. So the feeling what I get out of that rupa, Saddha rupa, okay? When they say Vilas, the mind becomes numb, withdrawn. Why? That feeling is not coming because there's a perception of Vilas and there's sankhara of Vilas. That I don't want. I want the feeling of anagarika because that's a special thing in Buddha. If I'm a follower of Buddha, anagarika makes more sense because he's a family man, given up everything, but he's still having a family. So if somebody asks me what is anagarika, I can give him a sermon of anagarika. But if they ask me what is Vilas, I can't give even 2 minutes what I should say. Then I should say I'm a software developer, I am this, I am that, and I work for so and so company. Then everybody works. Then they have to ask how much do you earn? And I have to say this much I earn. That's all. Oh my God! I thought you were earning $1 million. Not earning that much. Oh, not good. That is something. But what if anagarika? Wow! I can explain who is anagarika and how important it is to become anagarika and blah, all that. And there will be people who want to buy that product. All those Viññanas would like to buy it now. And they also want to put anagarika in behind. So they'll ask, how did you get this anagarika? Then I say, one Bhante in Sri Lanka told me that you are an anagarika. And then I also accepted to it and I have put anagarika. Nobody has disputed it so far that I'm not an anagarika. So then they will ask me, can you bless me that I'm also an anagarika? I can say, yes, I can bless you. From today onwards, we will actually, what is that? Recreation you as anagarika. Yeah, we'll have a cake. Welcome, anagarika, so and so name. And in the passport, we'll put anagarika, that name. Done. Are you happy today? Yes. Who is anagarika? These are the job description for anagarika. Then how will you become a bhante? That's what I'm thinking. How do I become? So let me become a monk, bhikkhu. But if I join in Sri Lanka, I'll be called Thero. That's the best thing. Then they will give me one name. Some name. Vimukti Ratana. Or some Ratana. I will name it as Vilas Ratana Thero. Isn't it good? Excellent. But if I go to Thailand, they are going to call me Ajahn. What's the difference between Thero and Ajahn? It's the same thing, same wine in a different bottle, not the two bottles. Go to Sri Lanka, Thero. Go to here, Ajahn. What if I go to Burma?
They will have explanation for that.
They will be having, I don't. So if I go to Burma, I'm called as Sayadaw. If I come to that level. So Samanera to Sayadaw. Samanera to Thero. Samanera to John. So can I call myself Samanera? You can call whatever you want. I'll put Samanera Vilas Kadival. Where? Should you put Vilas Kadival? Should I put Anagarika? No. Because if I put Anagarika Vilas Kadival, three things I need to understand. It's a dukkha dukkha. That means I need to maintain that name, which cannot be maintained, right? Then sankhara dukkha. I need to do actions. Like in the movie, they say action, and then that guy says, "You should have done this. You should have." No, not that's too much of animation, sir. Please relax. See the hero is going to come. In this case, James Bond, in a boat, but he's forgotten the password. And your job as a secretary to James Bond, you're supposed to remind him of the password. Okay? But James Bond secretaries are always females. It's the rarest of the rarest opportunity a male is given this role. So now how you should converse with a James Bond? You should live like a James Bond to converse like a James Bond. So when he comes, you can't be so animated, but to say, what's up? I need a password. Which password? To open this. Because James Bond doesn't have time. Either you give or you're gone. Okay, I have got 20 passwords. Give me the one. Here is the one. And he flies. And the girl comes. And she sits next to him. Because always the girl has to sit next to him or behind him. They can't sit in front of him. And that's not allowed. Okay, that's in the script. So, basically, if we put this whole script together, this is how the Viññana works. So, Ajjatta Bahidda, 2. Then, Polarika, then, Ina Panita, then, Dure, Santike. All of this is experienced through Viññana. You'll experience. So, Viññanam anidassanam, unillustrated. Illustration. Anatam, endless. Sabbato pabham, lights up everything. Lights up what? Experience for everyone is the same. Yattha patavi, when the patavi, earth quality, water quality, fire quality, air quality is not held, doesn't get footing. Yatta dhigancha rasancha. Now you see this. That's what that 11 things are, right? Dhigancha rachans. Dhiga is long and rasa is, sorry, Dhiga, yeah. And rasa is short. Anu thula. Anu is atomic. Thula is big, gross, fat. Subha, asubha. Subha is auspicious. Asubha is inauspicious. These are stored in the Viññana. Which one? The four primaries and these pairs are stored in the Viññana. And that's what we call as an experience. So when I see this body, I say it is a tall body and this is a short body. Tall person, short person. I don't call it as a body, or it is a person. Friend, enemy, like that.
So anidassanam, we can say absence of measurement.
Anicca sanya is not absence of measurement. Anatta sanya is actually absence of measurement. There's nothing to measure or there. Because there's no attā. Attā is in terms of measuring only. Aniccā is in four ways. You can see. At a very immediate layer, you can see it's not as per your choice. Whatever the sight, sound, taste, touch, smell, thoughts coming, like Vaharakathero, indicating that it's not as per your choice. Perfect. 100 marks. So that's true. Then the second way of seeing is whatever arises passes away. Pada Viññana. Yes.
Sorry, nothing. Just
Okay. Pada Viññana. Pada Vayatena anicca. If somebody were to ask what is anicca, it's Upada Vayatena anicca. That means whatever arises passes away. That's anicca. Third way of looking at it, paticca samutpada, paticca samutpanna is anicca. Paticca samutpanna starts with anicca. Anicca, sankata, like that. Anicca, sankata, paticca samutpanna, khaya dhamma, vaya dhamma, viraga dhamma, nirodha dhamma. How the dhamma is defined. Dhamma is in the object, phenomena, experience, and all that taken together. The third way of seeing anicca is paticca samutpanna within the paticca samutpada, and hence nothing can be called as an impermanent entity there. So if we say anicca is impermanence, it is in the sense of paticca samutpanna and paticca samutpada. That's correct. Okay. Third definition. Fourth definition. Khayatena anicca bhayatena dukkha asaratena anatta. Khaya. It's law of diminishing returns, or the body keeps on diminishing. Every experience will diminish, everything will diminish. So every hour is diminishing, every minute is diminishing. The sun is rising and the sun is setting. In that way, it diminishes. The days diminishes, months diminishes, years diminishes, and so your life. So the Jivit Indriya on one side, okay, with what? It requires ayu. Ayu diminishes. So, khayatena anicca gives you bhayatena dukkha, the fear of the diminish. The sara, senseless, is attā. The fourth way of defining aniccā is ayatena aniccā. The first way of seeing is not as per one's choice, because we have seen the anatta lakkana sutta. In that he covers aniccā. Then the second way of saying is uppada vayatena aniccā. The third way of seeing is patisamutpanna and patisamutpada. Fourth way of seeing anicca is ayatena anicca. There's 4 ways of seeing anicca or experiencing anicca. So Vaharaka spoke about perfect truth in terms of not as per one's choice, because that's through anatta lakkana sutta. If you can penetrate that sufficient, you'll penetrate other 3. Other 3, as in the second one, uppada vayatena anicca. So you will get a uppada vayatena jnana. Udaya vyaya jnana is uppada vayatena jnana. So get that. Or if you do third way, you have penetrated patisamutpanna, you will experience very first time what is anicca. Third way. And the fourth way, uppada vayatena, this one, kayatena anicca. Now you might ask where it is explained kayatena anicca. Refer to paticca samutpada vibhanga, or you go through the Patisambhiddha Magga Pali of Venerable Sariputta. You can pick it up. Yeah. Yes, Aryu.
Is the fourth way the most subtle to be experienced?
No, all the 4 are subtle actually. It depends on which way you want to experience. First, some people like followers of Vaharaka can experience on the first one. Better to take that because it's most easiest actually, not as per one's choice. Anicca. So whoever is a follower of Vaharaka, then it is good because it's correct. There in the sutta. Anatta lakkana sutta explains that. There's nothing say that it's as per my wish. No. The sight is not as per your wish. The sound is not as per your wish. That means anicca is not that you want to be in this way. You want to convert it in this way. Not possible. No matter how many sankharas a person do, it will not work because it goes through 3. Dukkha dukkha, sankhara dukkha, parinama dukkha. You cannot treat it as nicca. Nicca as in I will make it to my choice. It will work to what I expect it to be.
Yeah, we in Hindi also we use Nitya Kram, means every day you are taking bath.
Yes.
It is Nitya Kram.
Yes.
So you are reproducing the same experience.
Yes, you want to reproduce the same experience and hence you get the permanence feel.
Anicca means you cannot reproduce the same feeling again.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So it's almost 10 o'clock here, which means 11:30 for Matthew, and I think Anna would have gone. Now it's 4:30, I think so, for her. So this is what is the 5 aggregates as per Maharahulavada Sutta. Now tomorrow we come to the next section of what Rahula does. Get it clarified. Okay. So we'll meet tomorrow. Yes, Aryu.
Can I ask a quick question?
Aha, sure.
Earlier, so when you say the Viññana, when we go to the past and the future, we first pick up rupa.
We'll first take Rupa. Yeah, one
Yes.
second. One second before I answer. Anna, tomorrow we are meeting. Tomorrow is Saturday. We are meeting. If you are not able to join, then it will be recorded.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Aryu.
So this rupa, when you say rupa, is it referring to the sight and sound, or you can understand it both ways? And
See, the Rupa is the whole experience. And if you were to categorize that experience, you have it ultimately lands up in 5 elements. right? See, now let's take an example. That's a good question. So let's take Pathavi. Pathavi requires something to touch, tangible. Otherwise, there's no Pathavi dhatu. So if you are experiencing something to touch, tangible, that's Pathavi. If it is Apo, it should be flowing. If you experience something that is flowing from a sweat to whatever, flowing. So what are you experiencing when we say sight, sound, taste, touch, smell? There is also the Pathavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayo, Akasa in that. It doesn't go without that. Now you might ask me a question, how? So let's take Pathavi. In Pathavi, there is touch, that is Pottabba. Right? Kaya is made out of what? When you say Kaya, collection. If you are seeing anything tangible, this body is tangible body because you can see, you can sense it. Like your body, my body, anybody's body, or that whatever I've kept there, it's all made out of Pathavi. Otherwise, you can't. The table is made out of Pathavi. Anything that is tangible, that should have Pathavi. So when we say, I am having Pottabba, Kaya, Pottabba, requires Pathavi. Now, if I say Tejo Dhatu, Tejo can be, yes, light, fire, yeah, go ahead. Yes, Sachin, you wanted to say something. Okay. So now we can distribute these 5 elements in these 5 groups. And we can see it exactly works. So tomorrow when we meet, I will tell you how to see that. How do see these 3. And when you see those 3, there is no personality. It just removes the personality. The Attā Bhava itself is gone.
I like the explanation of Patavi as tangible. It's make it very easy to understand.
Yes. Something to do with Apo. We'll see the remaining 4.
Thank you.
Okay, all right. Good night and a good day to others, and a very good afternoon, Anna. Or rather, it is closer to evening.
Evening. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.